It was my first trip to Kyoto, Japan, with 2 friends. To immerse ourselves in the local culture and keep our budget low, we opted for a traditional Japanese guest house instead of a fancy hotel. We found a charming, old-fashioned home on a booking website. The house had a nostalgic feel, reminiscent of the family homes in classic Japanese cartoons like Chibi Maruko-chan. After getting off at the subway station, we wandered through quiet residential streets, following the map to the address. However, as dusk fell and the streetlights grew sparse, we still hadn't located the house. The dim, eerily silent alleys gave off an unsettling vibe. When we finally arrived at the guest house and opened the door, chills ran down my spine. It wasn't just the evening breeze. Something about the house felt wrong. I hesitated at the doorway, frozen by a sense of unease I hadn't felt in years. My friends, already stepping inside, turned back, confused. Not wanting to alarm them, I forced myself to enter. After dropping off our luggage in the tatami living room, we decided to explore the house. Trying to shake off my nerves, I headed to the bathroom to freshen up. Inside the bathroom, a small ventilation window sat above the toilet. Just as I approached, ready to relieve myself, a loud thud broke the silence. A pale face pressed against the vent, staring straight at me. My first thought was that it might be a peeping Tom, but before I could react, the face vanished. Terrified, I bolted out of the bathroom, skipping any explanations to my friends, who stared at me in confusion. I collapsed onto the tatami in the living room, trying to collect myself. But as soon as I sat down, an overwhelming sense of being watched consumed me. I felt as if figures surrounded me, staring intently from behind. The drawn curtain over the window caught my eye, and an internal voice screamed, "Don't go near it." Despite my fear, I couldn't stop my body from moving toward the curtain. My hand trembled as I reached out to pull it aside, against my own will. Just as my fingers brushed the fabric, one of my friends tapped my shoulder, snapping me back to reality. She asked what I was doing, and I could only thank her silently. Who knows what would have happened if she hadn't stopped me. I retreated to the bedroom, retrieving a protective charm my mother had given me before the trip. Clutching it tightly, I returned to the living room, laying it on the table in plain sight. My friends, noticing my behavior, wisely said nothing. A shared understanding passed between us. Whatever was in this house, we didn't want to acknowledge it out loud. The charm provided some comfort, and the oppressive atmosphere lightened slightly. Exhausted from the day's activities, I thought I would sleep soundly. I was wrong. We slept on futons, soft and cozy. At first, I drifted off easily, but in the middle of the night, faint footsteps echoed down the hallway. Through the gap between the sliding doors, I saw shadows moving outside. Assuming one of my friends had gotten up, I glanced at their futons, all still sound asleep. I shut my eyes tightly, trying to ignore the footsteps pacing back and forth. The whole night, someone kept pacing back and forth in the hallway. When dawn broke, I joined my friends, who were sitting in the hallway overlooking the courtyard. In the daylight, the courtyard revealed its beauty, but something about it felt oppressive. It reminded me of scenes from horror films where ancient wells hold dark secrets. The next 2 days in the guest house were less unnerving, possibly because I relied on the charm for protection. Once we moved on to Osaka, the unsettling feelings vanished entirely. After returning home, I shared the experience with my mother. She laughed softly and told me, Our family deity warned me something might happen during your trip, which is why I insisted you take the charm. She explained that Kyoto, as an ancient capital, is filled with old spirits. Staying in a traditional guest house, which was once a family home, likely drew the attention of the house's ancestral spirits. They were curious, she said. You're not part of their family, so they wondered why you were there. Since you could sense them, they couldn't resist playing tricks on you. Looking back, the experience feels surreal. Perhaps the spirits were merely playful, but I'll never forget the face in the vent or the invisible forces guiding my hand toward the curtain. Next time, I'll think twice before choosing such an authentic guest house. If you want to see my videos faster, please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates.